Okay, so Claudia and Melissa, because Melissa's in Joburg at the moment, and Claudia is obviously in Eretz HaKodesh in Tel Aviv. So I'm busy learning a book by Rabbi Ali Mansour on the Amida. And I have done one shiur on it already for you, but I'm going to do another one because I'm just finding the insights in it really amazing. So I'm going to try and stick to that 10-minute max or 7-minute max. So I'm going to go into it straight away. So, by the way, I'm wearing a cap because I only used one shkach this year because I had to do this thing by myself. So it's the sukkah's kosher, but there's more light and more sun that comes through, so I can feel it. I can feel it on my face and everything actually. Okay, so let's quickly go into it. So the bracha on Refaenu, which is the 8th bracha. I mean, I've learned something interesting here, but it's related, by the way, to Brit Milah. In other words, the sages wanted to relate it to something that was positive, and therefore they related it to Brit Milah. Because ultimately, we know that he says here, all suffering results from sin. Physical illness is the outward manifestation of an internal spiritual illness. Okay, millennia ago, in the times of prophecy, ill patients would consult with their prophet to determine where they needed spiritual improvement in order to restore their health. Okay, etc., etc. So accordingly, the real cure for illness is teshuvah. But because they wanted to be positive, they would therefore, and not refer to something negative like avirot, they related it to Brit Milah. So, okay, so here's one little nice insight into that, is that you're not allowed to do a bracha in anything unless you are certain that the bracha is valid. So, for example, there's a bracha where we ask Hashem to forgive us. And then remember I told you about those words, Amar Beli Sloach, which means that He forgives abundantly, which basically means that every time you do an avera, if you are sorry about it, then basically the amount of times you can stumble on that avera is unlimited, because every time you do it, if you're sorry and you do it again next time, well, you were sorry, you were genuinely sorry, so, and you didn't intend to do it, it's just because of your personal issues that you're doing it. You have unlimited, you don't have like a 3 strikes out, you have unlimited amount of tries, because of Hashem's abundant love. So it's the same with cure. He basically makes the bracha about curing, about Rofeh Chole Amo Israel, because it is basically certain. Basically, now you're going to say to me, oh Dad, many people aren't cured, many people die, but that's what I always say to you. If you want to really be cured, you have to do teshuvah, and then you have a chance. So that's why there was that rabbi that I can't remember his name, but when people would come to see him about illnesses and being cured, he would make them sign a contract. And not just a sick person, he would make the spouse sign a contract as well. If they weren't keeping Shabbat, that they would keep Shabbat, etc., etc., and sign a contract in writing. And he says, in his experience, it always worked. But he also says here that prayer on behalf of the ill is very important. So therefore, you should encourage as many people as possible to pray for other people, and of course, one should pray for oneself. And this is, of course, also why the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim is so important, because visiting the sick is really important. So, for example, when we use Rofeh Chole Amo Israel, or the word Rofeh, the healer, it's not just like a normal healer. Okay, in other words, what it means is that this is a personal healer that is personally involved in healing you. The best example would be the President of the United States. He has his personal physician. He doesn't just go to a general doctor that sees the general population. This doctor is only for the president. And that's basically what that word rofe means, the sense of it. So that's a nice insight. Okay, so that was for the bracha of Rofainu. Now then I've been introduced to a very nice concept. So basically, then the next bracha, the ninth bracha is Bachenu Ubarech, which is basically the bracha for material sustenance, material success, which is related to a certain extent to Netilat Yadayim, but I'm not going to go into it now because we have no time. But there's an interesting comment which comes out here, which is related to faith and the velocity of money. So economists speak of a concept called the velocity of money. Basically what it means is how quickly the money goes through the system. So when people are investing, lending, borrowing, buying and selling, the economy is moving quickly, it's thriving, it's growing. Okay, so high velocity money moving through the system quickly is a sign of growth, of optimism. Okay, but when people start holding back, then you have obviously much lower velocity and you have basically what's called a recession. So and the question that's being raised is what causes people to invest and what causes people to not invest or to hold back. And basically financial stagnation is caused by lack of trust. So when people feel insecure and they stop trusting, then they spend less. So this is basically economic theory, but the wisdom of the Torah. So this is now how it relates to us. So basically, if you have faith in Hashem, then you will the velocity of your money will be good. If you don't have faith in Hashem, if you don't trust generally, and trust starts with faith in Hashem, or trust in Hashem, then basically the velocity is going to slow down and you won't be that successful. So therefore he says here, therefore the most important solution to economic crisis is reinforced faith in God, recommitment to our belief in the Creator and His ability to care for and provide for His creatures. Remember that we believe that all material wealth it comes from Hashem. We have to put some effort in, but really it's the minor part. The major part comes from Hashem. So, and now the real thing that I wanted to tell you is one of the terms used for money in the Torah is zuz, is the word zuz, 20 zuz or 100 zuz or whatever. And actually, if you look at it, I'm trying to find where I read this. The source of the word zuz is basically something to do with speed, with moving. So there we are. So, in other words, the fact that money needs to move is related to the word zuz, which is to move, and of course it's in the actual word that describes the money that's being used in the Torah. So the word zuz is used to talk about money, and in the root of that word is the allusion to financial or money velocity. Anyway, I can't find that note, which I'm not. But anyway, that was I thought a very nice insight into that area. Okay, so anyway, from my sukkah in Cape Town, which I'm really enjoying. The weather's been fantastic. It's early in the week, so Shavua Tov for the week, but also Shabbat Shalom. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this. Shavua Tov.